How's it going, guys? Micah here with the Higher Grounds, and today I'm going to be going over the 7 essentials you need to take with you while hiking. Let's jump in. Now the first thing you need to do isn't necessarily something you need to bring, but something you need to do. You got to research that hike. You got to know the weather, the elevation, and the trail conditions. Why do you got to know the weather? Good question, let me tell you. You got to know the weather because if it's raining or misty, you might have to bring a jacket. If the weather's hotter, you might have to bring some sandals and hike in those. Or if it's rainy, if it's a long hike, if you really are going to be trekking some miles, you got to bring your hiking boots. Don't hike with Nikes because you probably slip all over the place as soon as you get on some granite rocks. Now, elevation. Now, if you're starting from sea level and you're driving to 10,000 feet and then you're hiking another 3,000 feet on the actual hike, maybe you want to go up a day early so your body can acclimate to the higher elevation. And if you don't have time for that, you can always 2 to 3 days before pop a couple aspirin, just 1 pill every day. That slowly thins your blood and it helps you acclimate to that higher altitude that you will be dealing with later on. And the last thing you need to research is the trail conditions. Is this a 3-mile hike or is this a 15-mile hike? Is it a point-to-point, which means it's 10 miles there and 10 miles back? Or is it a 10-mile round-trip hike? Is it a loop trail? These are things that you need to know. Is it wetter than normal? Is it drier than normal? Can I refill my water bottle along the trail? Can I refill my water bottle at the trailhead? These are things you gotta think of. You research your hike so you can know what to bring, so you can be well prepared. This isn't even what you should bring. This is just what you should research. Now let's get into what you should bring. Now the first thing you gotta bring is a map. So whether it's a map or an app, you gotta know how to get to your destination. Now personally, I use All Trails. It's an app that allows you to download trail maps ahead of time, even when you don't have service, so you can always look when you're on the trail, figure out where you are at, where you need to go. I recently backpacked the Lost Coast Trail, and I used All Trails the whole entire time. It helped me know what part of the sections were impassable at the high tide sections, as well as where each campground was along the way. So I would really recommend All Trails, but most importantly, gotta know where you're going. Number 3, UV protection. AKA that giant fireball in the sky that's beaming down, shooting rays at you. Yeah, the sun. Okay, I know, maybe a little too much. So whether that's with some sunscreen, some glasses, a hat, or a buff, make sure that you're protected from that sun. Speaking of buffs, if you don't have one, let me tell you how awesome they are. You can use it as a scarf. You can use it as a beanie. You can use it as a bandana. Coffee maker's gone. You can even use it as a face mask. The list goes on, but I would really recommend you getting a buff. They're really useful when you're gonna be out there hiking with someone else and they're gonna have a buff. You're gonna be like, oh wow, that thing is way more useful than I thought that was. Man, I guess that guy on the internet was right. Probably not, but you know, you get the point. Number 4, first aid kit. Always bring your first aid kit. Whether it's a small one like this or a big heavy duty one, make sure that you have something, okay? It's crucial that you need something out there because you never know what you're gonna run into. That's why I have this knife. Also, it's good to have a lighter, okay? Never know how long you're gonna be out there, what happens if someone gets hurt, if you have to stay there overnight. You never really know, but it's always good to be prepared, and that's why I recommend you getting a first aid kit. Just get something simple. You won't regret it. Please trust me. I know I'm just some guy on the internet, but please trust me. Bring a first aid kit. And number 5, make sure you bring a flashlight. I know what you're thinking. Hey, isn't this supposed to be a day hike essential video? Why is he having a flashlight? Well, let me tell you why. Because you never know what can happen out there. I don't mean that to sound like a scary movie or anything like that, but it's true. We never know what's gonna happen out there, so it's better to be prepared than not to be prepared at all. One time, me and my buddies, we went hiking to 4.5 Mile Trail in Yosemite. And then we're like, we can do the panoramic trail. That sounds like a fun trail. Then we're like, hey, why don't we just loop back around and do a 22-mile hike in one day? And guess what we didn't have? Flashlights. So that's why I always recommend bringing a flashlight. You never know what you can get into. You never know how long you can end up being lost out there or how long of a detour you and your friends might think is a good idea. So please bring a flashlight. You won't regret it. Number 6, bring some water. Don't be stupid. Hell, if you got a water filter, bring that too. And lastly, number 7, you gotta bring your calories, AKA the snacks. So whether you gotta get your essentials like trail mix and a banana, or if you have a sweet tooth, you wanna bring a cookie, go ahead. Just remember, it all depends on how long of a hike you're doing. If you're doing a 15-mile hike, you wanna make sure you get those calorie numbers way up. And if you're doing a 4-mile hike, maybe you just need a granola bar, a banana, and some trail mix. You gotta know what you're bringing and how many calories you gotta take with that. Thank you for watching us here at the Higher Grounds, you guys. My name is Micah. This is a video about 7 essentials you need to do or bring with you while hiking, and I appreciate you watching. Come back and watch more. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe down there. Peace.